Hi, I'm Rob and welcome to another TW Weiss & Sons video review. Today's car is a Mazda CX-5. So we have the highest trim level in this particular model year, which was 2021. This is a late 2021 vehicle. It's a one owner car with 21,500 miles. Looking rather lovely here in machine grey metallic. It's a GT Sport Tech, which is the highest trim level, and it's a 2.5 petrol with 194 horsepower, running through an automatic gearbox with four-wheel drive. So this is what sets the car apart from most other CX-5s. It is a four-wheel drive version. So with the highest trim, you'll note there are lots of extras on the car which denote the higher trim level. So we'll start from the back. We have parking sensors running through the back of the bumper. Just underneath the tailgate aperture is a rear camera. That's accompanied by side cameras built into the bottom of the door mirrors, and you've also got a front-facing camera built into the grille. You'll note the colour coding on the arch trims, the nice bright silver alloys in a 19-inch size. Coming around to the front of the car, you have LED headlamps, which are high beam function, so these lights will pop on and off depending on light coming towards the car, and if you drive out of an urban area into the countryside, it will ping the lights up into high beam. So you have the GT Sport grille, which is like a waterfall effect. You've got the classic wing signature, which is a signature of all Mazda cars of this era and currently as well. Front parking sensors too, and it's in a really nice condition. It's just the one owner from new. So let's make our way round to the back of the car and into the boot. So it has a key fob operated power tailgate, or a touchpad just there. That will pop it up electronically. There is an internal button, so you can certainly function this while sitting inside the car. Into the back of the boot, you'll see a parcel shelf. Now, Mazda's parcel shelf from CX-5 designed to come up and over and attach to the top of the tailgate, and then always covering your valuables whenever it's lifted up. But of course, if you need to remove, slide back down, and dead easy, just pull it from right to left and it removes and can be stored inside the car. Again, quite unusual. So the car has a 40-20-40 split. There are levers here to facilitate folding down, so give it a tug and that will flop down in that fashion. This side you've got two handles, one for the middle section and the last one there for the outer seat. Okay, so depending on the front seat's position will determine if they completely fold flat in one fell swoop. Lifting up the boot floor here, you'll see a bulge. This is where the subwoofer for the BOSE audio lives, and you'll also note no spare, so we have a compressor and some foam, and that will give you a solution on a traditional puncture. Otherwise, our vehicles are provided with a year's Mazda warranty and roadside assist, and they'll certainly be happy to come and help you should that be an issue. So power tailgate button, we'll close it back down again and we'll go into the middle row. So the car has keyless entry. Again, simply tap the button with a key in your pocket. By doing so, it will also power the mirrors in and flash, so you've got a visual aid. And again, push again, and it will pop back out. Into the back of the car here, being the highest trim, you get to marvel at the lovely chocolate brown Nappe grade leather interior. So Nappe grade is a higher grade than the standards. This would be fitted to Sport Nav and the current exclusive line. So this is a lovely graded leather. There is a pull-out armrest here, and you'll note there are heated seats for the two outer seats here. Lifting up the storage, there is a USB section here, and again that's to plug devices in. So certainly comfortable for 5, or extremely comfortable for 4. So standard Mazda mats in there, so CX-5 mats, and again the brown appears on the door cards and on the trim. So let's jump on inside. As I can see, it's starting to rain a little. So we have a fully powered driver's seat with memory function for 2 different driving positions. That will link to your mirrors. Let's hop in. So once in, there's a stop-start button. Simply depress the brake and press once, and that will power the car up. And then you'll see there's a digital display right in the middle of the center of the dashboard here. The 2 outer dials are analog, and this one can be configured for different views. So looking at the steering wheel, a lovely leather-bound wheel in a nice sort of finish. This side is to do with audio, but if I hit the info button, it will then allow the middle screen to change what it shows. So at the moment it shows a traditional speedo. Then you've got information around fuel consumption, and there's 2 A and B trips there. Then you've got the lane departure. So you have the ability to knock this on and off. So if I turn it off, it disappears, and it will not then bring the car back into line should you drift over the white lines by accident or deliberately. This side on the steering wheel has things like adaptive cruise control. So again, this screen will become prominent because it will allow you to pick a gap in time. Looking at that, that's 2-second gap. Then we can bring it down to 1.5 second time gaps, and that will then preserve the speed you're driving even if you catch up with a vehicle. That will then match the road speed of the vehicle in front. If that vehicle slows down, you will also brake. If you brake to a halt, you will also brake to a halt. And also quite useful just driving along in an urban environment, so you'll be able to set the car from as little as 20 miles an hour, and then it will follow the car in front blindly. When it comes to a halt, it will stop. If you dab the throttle lightly, it will pick up again and just keep following the car in front. So a really nice convenience function, good for safety, good for fatigue reduction. So we also have a conventional speed limiter. Again, that can be set before you drive away, and that allows you to set up the car from as little as 20 miles an hour, and that will then put an artificial throttle restriction so you don't go over speeding, certainly in these 20 zones which are prevalent everywhere now. So also on the multifunction wheel we have paddles, so to go down a gear and a paddle to come up a gear. You can also use the same plus minus by simply bringing the car into D, into M, and then you can push and pull touring car style. If you wish the car to drive itself but still be a bit sportier, there is a sports mode here. If I click on, it will show you the sport function. This goes bright red and just lets you know you're in the sportier mode. What it's going to do is shift the uplift points where it changes gear to further up the rev range, and it will be more responsive to kick down multiple gears when you hit the throttle harder. So it might drop from 6th to 4th or even lower. So coming back into R, the reason to go into R is it demonstrates the surround view cameras. So you've got, at the moment, it's looking behind us, but if I stick my hand out here, you'll see on this side my hand, so it's showing you the view from the side of the car. And in fact you can change the view, so you can have an expansive view from behind in this instance. Okay, so pretty decent. Certainly aids you that with the front and rear park sensors. There's little excuse on being able to park your car properly. The same landscape view on the tablet. The latest update again is exactly as per a brand new vehicle ordered. Down here is fundamentally where you'll control it with a home function button. This gives you all the things it can have currently. So entertainment will bring up all your digital radio player, but you'd also have other functions through the source list. This will give you FM, AM, digital radio, Bluetooth, which is both for pairing the phone for data, for telephone calls made and received, but also a streaming function for your audio. And you'll also notice it says smartphone apps. So with this particular car, if you come back down into here, you will find there's inputs here, and you'll plug in, and it's a wired Android or Apple CarPlay connection. So that will then bring your mapping into the vehicle in lieu of Mazda's mapping. This could be Google Maps or Waze, of course, or you may want to use the Mazda mapping, whatever you prefer ultimately. So coming down the dash here, we have again the sort of wood trim, which is signature to the GT Sport trim level. We have dual zone climate control. We also have a heated steering wheel, heated seats here, but also cooling seat bases. So the blue light gives you a fan on each individual front seat passenger and driver seat base, and will blow cooling air through your bottom area. Superb in the summer. Obviously the heaters are great for the cold days. But yeah, crisp morning or just in the depths of winter. We also have a wireless charging pad. So again, that's going to draw energy into your phone in a conductive way. Coming down, we have more storage for drinks. We have a rather nice glove box with that's currently storing the locking wheel nuts. Great big bottle molded pockets. And the car itself is in lovely condition all rounds. There's no marks, rips, tears. The interior is pristine. It doesn't smell like anybody smoked in here. It's in great condition. Coming up, we have a sunroof, which is a smaller sunroof, but it's a tilt slide using the control interface up here. If I pull backwards, it will tilt, it will slide. Push forward and it will go back, and if you push upwards in that fashion, it will tilt and let a little bit more air into the vehicle, and again just push forwards to close it back down again. So we'll pull the cover over and continue. So we're coming down where there's other functions. So we have media, but we also have Mazda's nav, which I described earlier. So Mazda's nav pops up on there, super simple interface, just click on there, into destination. Typically you'll go to postcode, which is the most accurate way of finding somewhere, and you can either spin round in this fashion, or indeed we have a voice activation function, so you can speak your sat nav destination into the vehicle should you choose. As a secondary point with this particular button, a long push when connected to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto will activate either Siri with Apple phones or OK Google with your Android phones, and then you can speak again destinations in and request other things linked to your phone, even ask questions of it as per Siri. We also have a head-up display, so you can just about make it out on this Lexus here. You've got a 0 and the road speed, and again I've left on the speed limiter, so it shows you the limit for the throttle currently is 20. So a head-up display in the box here, projected onto the windscreen, always in your eye line, always keeping you safe. Coming down we have auto lights, which will come on and off when needed, and as I mentioned, it's an auto high beam function. We also have automatic wipers, again linked to rain, so they'll wipe hard when it's raining heavily, and they'll wipe slowly, if at all, when it's not. Coming down, more series of switches. Typically they're off switches, so one is to turn off the lane departure, which we described earlier, one is to turn off the stop and go technology. So the car's designed when it's in traffic, you've come to a halt, be it at traffic queue, traffic lights or roundabout, the car will turn off, and of course it will immediately start as soon as you hit the throttle. So we have another way of reviewing the camera system without putting it into reverse, and of course a power tailgate button. Coming down, we have power folding mirrors, easy to use, just push forwards and they power in, and of course that happens when you lock and unlock the car too. Now another function built into the mirrors, which is difficult to see, but round about here is a lane departure blind spot system. So the blind spot monitors behind the vehicle and will tell you when there are things coming up to your left side or right side of the car from behind, anything from a motorbike upwards. So a really nice example of a top spec 2.5 petrol, 4-wheel drive, full automatic, 6-speed automatic with manual changes, CX-5. So this car is ready. It's awaiting test drive appointments, viewings. We recommend a part exchange. If you wish to trade in with us, we're more than happy to do so, and of course you can fund your purchase through our dealer finance services. So don't hesitate, give us a call.